Welcome. It's time to convert our Facebook leads. How can we actually convert the leads that we're getting from Facebook? Maybe you've been super successful at generating leads where you're getting names, emails, phone numbers, possibly even intent on when they're looking to move, but we have a hard time actually getting them to the finish line. So connecting, having a conversation, qualifying them, getting them into contract, and then ultimately closing. That might be you right now. And if that sounds like you, let me know down below. Happy to have a conversation. That's what we're going to cover today. All right, so with that being said, let's get into it. Let's actually convert these leads. Let's understand how we're going to actually use this Facebook platform that we have to our benefit and actually start seeing some closed business from it. All right, so let's look at this for a second. Hey, why your leads aren't converting, how we're going to actually convert them and make that happen. Understand a few things. One is that Facebook leads, regardless of how good your ad is, your funnel is, your advertising happens to be, you are going to need to follow up. No way around it, right? So if the expectation is that you're going to launch a Facebook ad, you're going to get some leads, you're going to have people opt in, and they're going to reach out to you because why wouldn't they? That is a bad assumption. That is a terrible assumption. It does require follow-up. There's no way that it doesn't. Now, one of the things that I need to be ultra clear here on is it's still going to require a call. You can hide behind emails, you can hide behind text, you can hide behind DMs if you're sending people to Messenger. At the end of the day, sales is going to happen if you make that call. So if you are launching ads with the expectation, again, that somebody's going to beg you to work with them and it's not going to really involve a lot of phone time, that's a bad assumption. So number one, it's going to require follow-up. Number two is you're going to get fake contact information. You're going to get fake numbers. You're going to get fake emails. You're going to get fake information. That is online leads. Just be accepting of that. So expecting the otherwise is a really good way to get frustrated, a really good way for you to not see results. Don't get down on yourself. This happens to everybody. Your opt-ins are going to vary depending on the ad that you're running, but for the most part, you're going to get real information. It's just not all going to be complete. Fake numbers are going to happen, fake emails are going to happen, and fake names, of course, are also going to happen. You're going to have some profanities be opted in. You're going to see the FU all not maybe a lot, but you're going to see that come up. So just be mindful of that, and also understand that with Facebook ads, it's disruptive marketing. So we're going to get into the actual things that are happening right now that are preventing our clients our leads from actually converting. We're going to get very tactical, but I really need to set the table here so we have a common understanding of what Facebook ads actually are and what they are not. Now, disruptive marketing, Facebook ads is really a big pioneer of this. So think of it this way. When somebody goes to Google and types in the top real estate agent in my neighborhood, they are intentionally going over to Google and doing that. They're typing it in. There's intention behind that. When somebody's on Facebook, they don't come into Facebook to go find a realtor. They don't come into Facebook to go find a house. They don't come into Facebook to do anything. They don't go to find a plumber or find something to buy. They're going more to connect, right? Or see what the algorithm is feeding them that day. So that means that whenever somebody sees your ad and it strikes a chord so much that they actually give you their contact information and become a lead, they weren't coming into Facebook expecting to see your ad. Nobody came in here and said, "Oh, I hope Jaime markets to me today so I can opt into his funnel." Nobody says that. So when I say disruptive marketing, that means this is just disruptive based marketing. So you're disrupting you're disrupting what they came to the platform for. So your offer was so good that they decided to give you their contact information. So they weren't going there to get a realtor. They weren't going there to get a house. So that when you do reach out to them, understand that they're not always going to be in a position to receive. They may have taken a break, and maybe they're on break. Maybe they're at the restroom. Maybe they are just on their computer and they were on Facebook and they saw your ad. They opted in, and then all of a sudden you're calling them. Right? So understand that that's probably what's happening oftentimes. So whenever you call, don't be offended when they rush you off the phone. Don't be offended when they send you to voicemail. Don't be offended when you get dismissed. We need to build our skill set, and the skill set that you're about to see here is how you're actually going to convert Facebook ads at scale. Facebook ads are not broken. They still work. We are generating a massive amount of leads for our agents here in our DFW homeowner production group, our production team. So if you want to find additional information on how to join our team, where we provide leads, where we provide training, and we provide support, our contact information is down below. Let's continue. All right, so let's talk about this for a second. So here we are. One of the things that's happening is, one of the issues that's happening, we'll get into how to actually fix it. You're generating leads, but not intent. So what does that mean? That means you're not worth, your offer is not worth a conversation. So you might be getting leads, if you will. So they saw a home that you marketed and you said, just list it as an example. That's a very common ad campaign that happens. And they were curious enough to give you their information just to see what was behind the veil. But then once they got that information, it wasn't that interesting to continue to have a conversation with you. So while you may be getting leads, you may be getting opt-ins, you may be getting names or maybe emails, you may be getting names, emails, phone numbers, and a good amount of information, you're not getting intent. So remember, we're doing disruptive marketing. So with the leads, one of the quickest things or one of the best things that you could do to improve your your conversion is change the ad campaign based off of the intention. So if I offer something, is there enough meat on the bone to where somebody would like to have a conversation? So as an example, learn how to save $15,000 on your next home purchase. That's interesting. There's some potential for intent there. So there's some actual meat on the bone that it's going to make your offer extremely juicy. There's going to be a reason for the lead to return your phone call, right? So if you're generating leads, if that's not an issue of yours today, and you're struggling to have a conversation, meaning you are following up, you are calling, you are pursuing, but no one's giving you the time of day, returning your phone calls, returning your texts, returning your emails, then there's not strong enough of intent there, meaning that your offer was not worth having a conversation over. That's one, right? So again, your offer has a lot to do with what the next steps would be. Another reason that agents that are generating a ton of leads from Facebook ads and are seeing no results from that is the speed to lead is too slow. You have to reach out within the first 5 minutes. Calling is absolutely vital. Again, if you're expecting the email that you sent them when you automated everything on the back end, so when you launched your Facebook ad and connected it via Zapier and are sending out emails or connected it to your CRM and allowing the CRM to do all of the following up with the emails and texts, and are not making a phone call, be prepared to not convert any leads. It requires a phone call. Don't hide behind the emails. Don't hide behind the text. Don't hide behind DMs. Don't hide behind just the written part of the language. Make that phone call. If you actually want to convert Facebook ads, you have to make the call. If you don't plan to make a call, don't plan on launching Facebook ads. That's going to waste your money. So Facebook ads is not for everybody. Understanding what you're getting yourself into is absolutely vital right now. So calling, speed to lead is absolutely vital, not just with Facebook ads, but the entire sales business that you're in. But here, more than anything, especially with Facebook ads, you do need to make that call. Now, to give you a little bit of cadence, we'll talk about that in the nurture, but the quicker that you can get to the lead, the quicker that you can call, the quicker that you can get on phone, that would be huge. Now, I'll give you a quick little tip here. When you call and nobody picks up, it's okay to hang up, don't leave a voicemail, and call right back. It's called a double dial. So here you're calling, they don't pick up, goes to voicemail, hang up, start it again, call them again. You're going to be surprised how many people pick up the phone on that second attempt. Because think about it from your perspective. How many times are you answering the phone of a number that you don't know? We're in sales and we still don't do that. We know that we are the same people that are doing that to clients. Well, your clients that are not in sales, they're doing that to everybody. If a phone number is not saved on their phone, they're not picking up the phone. They're not picking up that phone call. So again, don't get offended here. It's just a reality. It's consumer behavior at this point in time. Speed to lead is important. So make sure that you're calling as soon as humanly possible. If you know you're not going to be around to make that call, then turn off the ads for the time being and turn them on when you are going to be around for that call. It's so vital. All right, another reason that we're not converting is that there's no real follow-up. It takes 10 to 15, if not more, it takes beyond 10 for sure, touches to convert Facebook leads. That's the reality. So if you plan to make that, let's just say you do plan to follow up and you plan to make that first phone call and that's your entire follow-up sequence, don't launch your ads. You're not going to convert a single soul. I'd much rather tell you this now than say, oh, just keep going. Or no. It's the follow-up system. There's no real follow-up system. That's often what betrays us. If you're not planning to have a system in place, whether you're following up or some of your ISAs or other agents are following up, don't plan on launching Facebook ads. They're not going to work for you. It's just the reality of the situation. Remember, nobody's coming into Facebook thinking, oh man, I can't wait for the DFW homeowner group to market to me. No one's coming in to say that. Right? No one's coming in to say ABC Realty, hopefully they market me a Facebook ad that offers something of value to me. No one on the face of the planet is thinking that. So this is important that we understand that we need a follow-up system. So to give you an idea, I promised you the cadence a couple of seconds ago. Whenever a lead comes in, let's just assume it comes in on a Wednesday morning, as today is a Wednesday. It's not morning, but let's say it's Wednesday morning. We would be doing the outreach in the morning as soon as it comes in. Let's say a lead comes in Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central. We're calling at 10:02. We're calling immediately. Now, if they don't pick up, awesome. Pick that phone right up again and then call them again. So let's call that attempt number one. So essentially it's 2 calls, but it's attempt number 1. If we don't get them Wednesday morning, again, that's when the lead came in, we're going to try them again in the afternoon or evening, depending on when you have your additional follow-up calls. So you're going to be reaching out later on in the day. So essentially you're having 2 attempts from a phone perspective, right? So that's from calling, but maybe I shouldn't separate them based on modality. So let me give everything to you straight here. So from a Wednesday morning, we call, nobody picks up, shoot them a brief text. Now, when you send over a brief text, you have a very good opportunity of actually sending a video text now. So, hey, it's Jaime. I saw that you requested additional information on ABC property on Facebook. Just wanted to connect with you real quick if you had a minute. That's it, right? So that takes 5 seconds. I'm having a hard time speaking English today. 5 seconds to send that video over. And that's a follow-up, right? So that's your first attempt. Attempt number 2, you're giving them a call once again. They don't pick up. They don't respond. Nothing happens in that first day. That's okay. You're reaching out to them again the following day, right? So the way that we have it is we're reaching out to them 3 days. So the first day is 1, second day is 2, third day is 3. After that third day, after that third attempt, if you will, or the third day of attempting, then we move over to a week from the original opt-in date, and then they go into our long-term nurture. Not everybody is going to pick up. Not everybody's going to respond to an email. Not everyone's going to respond to text. We just realized that, right? So we have to be okay with that. This is a numbers game, but at some point in time, remember, although it is disruptive, at some point in time, they thought enough about the offer. They thought enough about what you were marketing that there was enough intent there so they could give you their contact information. Now, it might not be the perfect intent, as we already talked about, but there is something. There is something there. So we all have a housing need. Some of us are going to be renters forever. Some of us are going to buy consistently. Some of us are going to, there's a housing need at some point in time. So if you stay in the trenches long enough, you're going to be actually be able to close something. Selling instead of qualifying. So here, when we're looking at selling versus qualifying, this is a big mistake. When we hop on the phone, we're immediately, how can I sell you a house? How can I help you buy? How can I? That's a really bad way to go about it. Sells altogether, but especially with Facebook ads. Remember, they don't know who you are. They don't know who you are yet. There's a better way of saying that. So when you're hopping on the phone and connecting with somebody, you are the expert. You should be acting as the expert. So ask questions. You're trying to diagnose if you can actually help somebody. Right. So, hey, what interested you about the house that you clicked on? Well, I'm thinking about moving to Fort Worth, blah, blah, blah. So they're going to tell you a story. So the more questions that you ask, as opposed to you trying to come over the top and sell them on the spot, that is huge. So whenever you have that first point of contact, you're not looking to have an in-depth, full 100% conversation when you are making that first call. So it's important that you understand that When you make contact for the first time, you're not selling, you're qualifying, right? So remember where these leads are coming from. These leads were on their break from their 9 to 5 and they saw your ad. They're probably in their lunch break. They opted in, and then here you are calling them. They're not in a position to receive. They're not ready to have a conversation while they're at work. They thought enough to be on social media, let's be clear, but they were not expecting a phone call. They were not waiting for you to get for you to market to them and then you calling them right away. So when you make that first point of contact, you're going to connect and essentially qualify them to see if it's someone that is worth having an additional conversation with. So you're asking about timeline, you're asking about motivation, you're asking about if they're going to potentially be able to qualify for a home. Now, again, all this isn't going to happen at once. You're essentially trying to book an appointment for an in-depth conversation later on, right? So selling instead of qualifying is a huge mistake. You are the real estate professional here. You're the expert here. You're asking questions so as to qualify them to see if this is somebody that is going to work out. And no authority or trust bridge. So you're not creating authority and or trust. You're not bridging that. There's no bridge between there's no difference between any other agent out there and yourself. So whenever somebody opts into your funnel and you're having a hard time reaching out to them or connecting with them, you're trying with the text, you're trying with the calls, you're trying with the emails, and are not able to actually convert somebody, instead of just calling just to connect or calling and just trying to follow up and just calling and just trying to reach out to them and try to sell them immediately. When you're following up, bring something that will actually help them. Bring something of value. I know you hear this all the time, provide value. You hear that all the time, but us as agents, we often don't do that. So what would be valuable? Well, sharing homes that are within a certain payment. So let's just say somebody opted into one of your funnels, and you do the math and show them what the homes that could realistically yield a $2,300 a month payment. Now, hey, I understand that $2,300 is probably the budget that you're trying to stay within. Here are some homes that could potentially give you that payment amount. Showing receipts. These are the individuals that I have helped before. These are individuals that can that were very much in that were in your shoes, that I was able to support and help with their real estate journey. So bring in receipts. That's social proof. That's so valuable. So providing something that will show some authority, that will help build that bridge of trust, that's going to be huge, right? So that's a way to start converting these leads to scale. So again, remember, a lot of these individuals are not going to pick up for the first time. A lot of these individuals are going to continue to be added into your CRM, but it's going to be tough to actually convert them. All right, so let's see. Are you able to see the screen? Okay, sorry. It looks like I was kind of frozen for a little bit. All right, so as a quick little recap, we have you're generating leads and not intent. So your offer is not worth having a conversation. Improve your offers. Speed to lead is slow. Increase the speed that you get to these leads. That right then and there is actually the number one killer. You're just not getting to the leads fast enough. There's no real follow-up system. You're quitting before it's you actually see the gold on the leads that are being generated. When you do connect, you're selling instead of qualifying. You just get into salesy mode. So a lot of individuals are able to smell the commission breath, and you're not establishing authority or building any trust with the leads that you do have. So after you make attempts to reach out to individuals, remember, they don't know who you are. Bring something that is useful to them. Be a resource, be of value, and you're going to start seeing, once you build your, we've talked about the follow-up sequence for your leads at this point, but just as a quick reminder, at this point, you need to have at bare minimum a monthly newsletter. If you can do it weekly. That is huge for your business. You're going to continue to stay in front of thousands of people at once as you continue adding more and more people to your funnel. Alrighty, well, that is it. Hopefully you found value today. Hopefully you are in a better position to actually convert the leads that you're generating through Facebook. Facebook leads are not broken. the way that we are coming to them and actually qualifying, that's what it is. So the better that we improve our skill set of follow-up, skill set of what we're saying in our calls with the leads that are coming in, the higher conversion you're going to have with Facebook ads. Alrighty, well, I'll see you on the next one.